Hello everybody, my name is Andre and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I build expensive looking GoHighLevel websites for my clients very fast. So if you want to sell websites for $1,000, $2,000 or even more for your GoHighLevel clients, then this video is for you. So obviously the first thing I would do is to get inspiration for the website, then design it in my head, and obviously then I would start implementing it inside the GoHighLevel website builder. And the first thing that every page should have obviously is the navigation menu, which we are building right now. As you can see, very simple, and obviously I'll try to make it as fast as possible. So we have a button, we have a navigation menu here, we don't need business name, we don't need logo, and we want it to be centered. Doesn't really matter what items you have here, just make sure it's relevant for your website. And let me also add a logo. Perfect. Let me also change the background color to black because I like dark themed websites. And also let's change the style of the menu to black, and also the text should be white. Perfect. And also let's design the button really quickly. Full border, white, and border radius, let's say 20 pixels. And also the color for the button should be probably, well, let's go with blue. And also, yeah, let's do the border blue as well from here. Perfect. Now if we preview it, you'll see that it looks quite bland. It doesn't have any effects whatsoever. So the next thing would be to add an effect. I'm adding effects to my clients' websites is through my Notion doc, which contains all the effects that I am currently using for my clients bundled in one single place. And the effect that I want to use for this menu is this one, advanced sticky header. Of course, if you want my Notion doc, you can get it from the first link in the description. And all I did was just to create this custom HTML and JavaScript element. I pasted the code in here. I also pasted these classes right here. And now let me just select the logo, go to styles, custom class, add sticky, same for the button, sticky, and then select the green section, go into general, allow rows to take the entire width, stick to top on scroll, go in the blue section, select 90%, click save, and also just for demonstration purposes, let me add another section here. Let's add 2000 pixels because I want to be able to scroll. Now, as you can see, when we scroll down, the navigation menu stays in place, but the logo and the button disappear. Very cool. And of course there are other things that we can add to our menu. For example, a border. This is not a custom code, but this is just a very simple and subtle effect that you can create. So for example, we add one, corner radius 25 pixels, and color, let's change it to a slightly lighter black, just like this. Perfect. And now if we save, this is how our menu looks so far. Very cool. Of course you can make the logo a bit smaller and the button a bit smaller, but we'll keep it like this for this tutorial. Now let's move on to the next section, which is going to include some text elements and also another button like that one. But before we do that, let's remove the padding here because we don't really want it. We just saw what happens with the header. Now let's add one column, let's add a headline, let's change the font size, let's keep it bold, and the color, I would like it to be white. Perfect. And let's also add some padding to it, just in case it stretches too far. But I think since the green section doesn't take the entire width, that the text will look pretty good. Let's just check it to make sure. Yeah, perfect. It looks fine, but obviously we can make it a bit bigger and in the center of the screen. So let's do that. We can change it to 150 pixels, or yeah, let's keep it like that. And let's add a 20 pixel up. And I would like above it to add some changing text that basically present the benefits of the product that we're gonna sell through this website, for example, right? Obviously this is just a demo website, but I want to have, you know, some text that tells not a story but presents the benefits. So let's do that. Let's try to find it in the Notion doc, and it should be this one, fading words effect. So let me just copy the code from here and I'll show you exactly how it looks. So I just added another custom code element. I pasted the code, I added a bit of CSS, actually quite a bit more. And this is how it looks. As you can see, we have a sentence that changes words automatically and tells basically the user what our product does, right? It automates emails, it automates replies, automates content, workflows, and so on. A very, very subtle effect. Obviously, in the Notion doc, there are a few more such effects, such as advanced typewriter effect, rotating words letter by letter. The fading one is this one, and also the advanced fade effect and text change. Now, another thing that I would like to add is an entrance and also an exit animation for our content. How do we do that? Well, again, we go to the Notion doc, and here in the section with scrolling and cursor and slider effects, we have advanced entrance effects. So let's try to copy one from here. And very simple, we opened up the custom CSS, we paste the code here, we get the class cool entrance, we click save. Obviously I added some JavaScript for this as well, and let's click on the column and custom class cool entrance. Very, very cool. The text disappears because this is how the effect works, so we can't modify it, but when we preview it, as you can see, it has a nice entrance effect. Let me also add another section here, and let's again add 2000 pixels, click save, and I'll show you in just a second how our entrance and exit effects work. As you can see, if we scroll down, we have the exit effect, and when we scroll up, again we have the entrance effect. Very, very nice. And also the menu, when you scroll down, it disappears, but when you scroll up, we get this the logo and the button. Maybe I should change the color of these sections so you can better understand what's going on the website. I think that is a bit better. So we have this, when we scroll down, logo and button disappear, we have the exit animation there, the menu stays here, very, very nice. When we scroll up, we get the logo plus the button, and when we get to the text, again we have that cool entrance animation. And of course you can add this entrance animation, entrance and exit animation, to everything you want on the website, which is, in my opinion, pretty cool. Perfect. Now let's also add a button, but before we add a button, I want to add an effect for the button, and in my doc we have plenty of button effects. For example, we have this page here which has 31 custom effects for buttons, and of course tons more here. And for this tutorial I will go with this one here, advanced button side fill on hover. I copied it, click on the button, go to styles, and add this class as well. As you can see, very, very simple. We just add classes and copy the code, and it's basically plug and play. Everything works just fine, as you can see right here. And of course, you can combine this effect, the advanced button side fill on hover, with some other effects such as zoom in and shadow on hover. If we click on it and go down, let's copy the code. We pasted it in the custom CSS, and again, very simple, you just add the class here and all of a sudden your button has that effect as well, and this is pretty cool. Now I just want to invalidate the entrance effect because I want to add the button as well, so let's try to do that. And the way you do that is just by clicking a random letter there, and now you have the text once again. Let's duplicate the button and let's drag it in here. Perfect. And now if we validate the entrance effects once again, the button will also have that effect, which is pretty cool, as you can see right here. Obviously we need to delete the sticky class. Nice, I just deleted it because the second button doesn't need to have the sticky effect. So now, as you can see, very cool entrance and exit effect for the button as well. And as you can see, everything works well and it's pretty fast. Now the next part would be to make this text a little nicer. As you can see, I already changed the sentence so it looks more like an actual website, and I want to add a cool effect to this text. And for this I want to use this effect, gradient text effect, from my Notion doc. So let me just copy the effect from here and you'll see in just a second how it looks. Perfect. I copied it here in the custom CSS section. I played a bit around with the colors, and now let's see how it looks. All we have to do is just select the text, go into custom class, paste the gradient text class, select which part of our text we want to have the effect, and just bold it. And as you can see, we have the gradient applied. And of course you can play around with the gradient however you want. In this case I chose blue, white, and then blue again, and this is how it looks. Let's preview it, and this is how the website currently looks. Next thing, I would add a few graphics, maybe a nicer background for this specific hero section with some rounded corners here. Maybe we can change the color. Let's try to do that, and below that another section would be cool. So let's quickly draft something here. Let's select the blue section. Let's go into styles. We are already in styles. Full border black. Border radius, let's go with 50 pixels. All edges, I would like bottom only edges. And I already copied an effect from my Notion doc, and there is a simple class bg from background, and it basically adds a color overlay as a background for your section. And as you can see, we already added the corners. Very cool. And this is how it looks. Of course you can play around with the gradient so it looks more like a circle or something like that bar, but for this example I would just keep this as it is. Now let's play a bit with the margins, paddings, sorry, because I would like this one to be a bit better, maybe 200 pixels I would say, because we don't want the button to be here in the bluest part. We want it to be a bit more visible, and yeah, this is how it looks. Probably we would have to change this to allow rows to take the entire width and just get this to 95, maybe something like this. Yeah, I think this could look really nice. Let's preview and see how it looks. Perfect, perfect. This is how it looks. And I mean, it looks pretty nice if you ask me. Obviously we don't have the entrance effects anymore because it's invalidated, but we will enable them in just a second. And the next part, the last part that I want to do is add some cards here. Add some cards that specify the benefits, you know, go more in depth about these benefits right here. Automate emails, automate funnels, automate replies, and so on, right? I think that would look pretty cool on this particular website. So let's try to do that. So the first thing we would have to do is obviously to select this section, go into styles. Let's remove this because we don't need it. And I want to create another full width section with, let's say, 3 columns. I think 3 columns are enough. Actually, we only need 1 because we have to play around with the margins. So let's say 20 pixels there, 20 pixels here, and border, of course, full border, solid. Okay, yeah, let's keep it like this. Border radius maybe 25. Let's go with let's go with the white, just because I want to see, you know, how they look. Okay, they look like this, but in just a second you'll see that they can look really good if we apply a specific effect to them. And the effect that I'm talking about is this one, advanced slide and reveal card, which if you click on it, you'll see that it looks like this. A very cool effect that displays, you know, card information similar to an envelope. So let me copy the CSS from here because it's a very simple CSS, and we'll see how it looks. And all we have to do is just click on custom class, slide reveal card, and as you can see, this is how it looks. Very simple, plug and play. And if we preview it, we wait to load, this is how it looks. And as you can see, when you hover the card, we get this envelope like effect where the content gets out and pops in front of the card, as you can see here. And of course, in this white box we can add our content, right? You know, the benefit name and so on. And here we can have an image with something. Let's just add some images and see exactly how this one looks. And now, as you can see, I just added the image. Let's just disable the border, full border, no border. I think this one, yeah, without a border looks much better. Obviously we keep the corners, that's also very nice. And this is how it looks. Don't mind the image, it's just for demonstration purposes only. And inside here, which is very cool, you can add buttons, for example. So let's copy this button, let's slide it in here, I would say. So I created a small section just so we can move the button. And now obviously it's a bit trickier to move it, so you can just invalidate the CSS class for this, and then you can add the buttons, or you can just recreate it in here. Very easy, you got the point. Let me just invalidate the class and we can add the button as well. So now that I deleted the class, we can move the button very easily here. And now we can just add the slide reveal class back here, slide reveal card, and this is how it looks. Of course, you need to play a bit around with the paddings, otherwise it could look a bit ugly, but as you can see, in the end it looks pretty nice. Let's just make this a bit smaller. Yeah, like this it looks pretty nice. And let's preview it and see exactly how the final version of this website for this video looks. So those are the cards. As you can see, we hover the card and we get all the information plus the button plus all the effects for that specific button inside this card. And when you hover out, then all the information goes inside the card once again. Pretty cool. And of course we can add the same, the same cool entrance to this section. So let's cool entrance and let me revalidate the class, and now this is how it looks. As you can see, we also have this cool entrance and exit effects for both the hero section and for these cards. As you can see, when we scroll up, they disappear, they reappear. Very nice. So this is how I build expensive looking websites in GoHighLevel very fast using my bundled Notion dock. And if you also want to get my Notion dock, there is a link in the description from where you can get it, so you can use all these effects from this video plus a ton more. And if you're curious to see the best effects from this Notion dock, then check out this video.